What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay Money. It's Saturday. It doesn't matter. We still trying to get some cash. There's NBA games on, man. We, like I say, always trying to cash me. We got Shark. Got to get the music off. It's all good. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you?
My man John Tesh, who originally wrote that record, is like, guys, just keep playing the damn track. Send it Saturday. It's going down. Of course, February 5th, 2022. We'd be usually preparing for a Super Bowl, but we're not. We're in the middle of an NBA calendar. Beautiful 6-game slate here. We got a matinee at Amway. We got a lot going down. Jay Money, let's dominate.
Yeah, all type of stuff going on, man. Let's get to it, Shark. First game up, we got the Magic versus going to the streets of Orlando here, Shark. If you don't mind, I'm gonna zoom out just so we get some comments up there. But we got the Grizzlies versus the Magic here, my brother. You got the hat on. Let the people know what we like in here.
5 p.m. East Coast, Memphis Grizzlies on the road. Official play -7.5. A lot going on here. You have to go back to last year as the first point of reference here. Memphis did lose last year in Orlando, 112 to 111. Fast forward to this year, Memphis is a much better group, a much more disciplined group, a much more regulated group, and they are 7-0 ATS on the final game of a multi-game trip. 7-0 ATS. And you get Orlando coming home here off an outright win at Indy. Orlando has been hot now for 4 or 5 games. Orlando is functioning particularly well against the East at home. Against the West, they're 2-5 ATS. Their only 2 covers came early season when they backdoored Denver. We had Denver first quarter, first half correct with that day, of course. And they did hammer Utah at home. I don't know what's going on there. 2 altitude teams come in and lose to Orlando. Other than that, teams are 5-0 ATS. Of course, the Clippers got there when we had Orlando 2 weeks ago. Lakers got there by 11. Portland got them by 10. That's just a point of reference. When Portland gets you by 10, Lakers get you by 11, and Clippers get you by 9. Memphis should get you by 15. Official play -7.5, 1 unit.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off, and they have a couple of days off rest as well, Shark. So they're 4-0 against the spread. Last 4 playing on a couple of days rest, and we, like you said, as well, they have some revenge here, man. Lost last year to the Magic in this same type of spot. They were favored by 11.5 points, and the Magic ended up winning by 1 point. Man, the Magic have actually won 4 of the past 5 meetings between these 2 clubs as well. So the Grizzlies should look all right. Look, hold on, pump your brakes, Magic. Hold on, Jack. You played us well in the past. Let's go in here and smash these guys, man. I do like the look there with the Grizzlies here, Shark. I'm definitely not talking you off here. Ja Morant is game time decision, so obviously the line will go wherever he is, right, if he's in or out, but he should go here, guys. So let's see what happens, but I can't say he is game time decision. So I just want to let some people know that, just for full disclosure here. Let's go over here to the streets of Charlotte here, Shark. We got the Heat going up against the Hornets here, man. The Heat took care of us last game out. The Hornets, they coming off a loss last night versus the Cavs. It's kind of crazy because simple to me, I can't bet against the Hornets here because they got cheated last night. Like, they were supposed to win that game. The refs, literally a couple late foul calls. One of them didn't go their way. One of them went the other team's way, the Cavs. So it's crazy, but I don't know. It's just, I feel so funny about this one, Shark, with the Hornets. The refs know that they cheated them last night. What are we doing in this one?
This is going to be tough. I think this is pretty much razor sharp. Of course, you go back to early season. Miami did get them by double digits at home on a -7. This came in at 3.5, 4. We talk about all the time. Home to road, 3-point gap. That is your stock average, which means there's no transparency. This is probably going to hover right around it. Of course, Miami does come in here off the blowout win, the right-in game against San Antonio. It's a divisional matchup, though. And you go back to last year, Charlotte did win 2 out of 3. So theoretically, as you just mentioned, with Orlando having won 4 out of 5, within this matchup in the division, theoretically, the Heat could get there again and win 2 out of 3 this year. I believe there's actually 4 within the division this year. But there's a lot of games to be played between these teams coming up in the next month and a half. Ultimately, a 3rd and 4 back-to-back is really tough for Charlotte. Of course, last night they did lose, but they did still give a big effort. I would potentially lean Miami here to get there by 1 point, but it's just absolute trash.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. My guy in the chat saying he liking Bam Adebayo, points, rebounds, assists, centers, feast versus the Hornets. That's a good look there. Like I say, it's a tough game for me. I could see it going either way. I'd like to buy the Heat. They're not as strong on the road. They did get Lowry back, but you look at the Hornets over there, they got Oubre back a few games ago. Then yesterday, they got Gordon Hayward back as well. So he has one game up under his belt to kind of shake off the rust. I worry about my Heat here because they are the much better defensive team, but obviously the Hornets, the way they run and gun, you got gotta get your ass back on defense rather quick. So be interested to see what happens in this one. No, I can literally see that game going either way. Funky Saturday type of spot. Let's get over here to the streets of Washington, D.C., Shark. We got the Suns here versus the Wizards. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, my guy is flipping hats. I don't know if he has a hat for this late night game, but let's see what happens here. Suns off a loss here, Shark, are 7-2 straight up this season. They're coming off a loss. It's the second game of their East Coast road trip. What are we doing in this one?
Official play, Capital One Arena, visitors locker room, buy hat engaged. You look at Phoenix coming in here, a lot of interesting stuff. I had suggested they would not come out particularly well in the first half against Atlanta because that's what they do in these East Coast sequences. Of course, a Western Conference team doesn't have a lot of these spots, but you really draw back. It's very specific stuff. I just bring you back to early season. Non-cover at Cleveland, very next game, blowout Knicks. Non-cover at somebody who I'm forgetting off the top of my head, blowout at Charlotte, 133-99, and then a push non-cover, depending on the line, against Toronto, and they went into Indy and smacked them in the second game, 112-94. So you go through those three games, come out in the East, flat in the first one, adjusting, and then you come out and hammer the Knicks, the Hornets, and the Pacers. And I draw you to Washington. Washington fits that mold. Bottom level, middle ground, fading into the darkness type of Eastern team. You look at what Phoenix has done the last two matchups. They've beaten them down by 30 and 20, respectively. They did lose last year in Washington, very early season, back when Phoenix was not Phoenix as we know them now. Last year, they did catch their win throughout the season and, of course, go to the finals. They have continued that now. They come in here off an insulting loss. Washington comes in here off an outright win at Philly, home game 1. And the line is showing significant strength. Phoenix was only minus 8.5 at home. This is 7.5. It should be 5.5. I think Phoenix gets there comfortably by 15 plus here tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I'm not backing the Wizards right now. And the Sun, look, I'm not taking the Wizards right now, and I'm not betting against the Suns. It's an easy recipe for me here. Suns or nothing should definitely be a double-digit Smack City spot. Ed in the chat, he says, "Hey, y'all liking any props in the chat? I appreciate everybody in the chat, guys. You really make this show. You keep it going, spreading the word about the show, likes, retweets. We appreciate the hell out of you guys, man. Post those plays in the chat, college basketball, all that good stuff. Props. We appreciate the looks, man. I put them up on the screen. We all trying to cash. You dig what I'm saying? But I like the look there, Shark, with the sun, the nice hat as well, man. What she say off next Friday? Nice hat. But hey, let's go over here to the streets of LA real quick, man. It's all business here, man. We got the Knicks versus the Lakers, Shark. You know I like being on my East Coast, West Coast type stuff. The first game for the Knicks, man, on the West Coast over here. What do? They've been playing well the last few games in LA. Those are different Knicks teams. Those were greater defensive Knicks teams as well. This team, I think that the Lakers finna come in here and smack these guys. They coming off a close loss as well, basically buzzer beater by Reggie Jackson over there for the Clippers. So the Lakers are teetering on getting over the hump. They're at the house today. Knicks, long road trip here. Shark, why talk me out the Lakers here?
I will talk you on a suddenly not so casual. Send it Saturday, February 5th, 2022. The buy hat is engaged. I haven't worn this in months. I haven't worn it for a reason in months. The Lakers have not been very good. They're showing signs of turning a corner. And as you mentioned, you have to look at what's going on with the Knicks. The Lakers did lose to the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, 106-100. Lakers are 0-3 ATS last 3 against the Knicks. Go back to last year. It's very similar stuff. The Knicks hammered them in MSG on a Knicks -1, 111-96. Then it came from 1 to 2.5 Lakers, and the Lakers won by 2 points in overtime, so they did not cover. Now you come this year, Knicks get a 4.5 at home and cover, and it comes over to 2. So that's a 6.5 gap, not a 3.5 gap. It's telling you a story. The Knicks are in turmoil right now. Julius Randle might be on the outs, and that's another point we'll talk about with Sacramento in a minute. These teams now, obviously Portland's the only one who's made a principal trade so far, but these teams in the next week that have players who are going to be moved, that's a lot of funky emotions going on in the locker room. And you really look at what the Lakers are doing here. They need to get off the schneid. They need to clean up at home 2 early season spots without LeBron James that I will reference you. They did beat Charlotte by 3 points and beat Miami by 3 points. Again, without LeBron, for those of you who are going to say, no LeBron. Anthony Davis will take them under their wing. I think the Lakers win this game by 4 to 7 points. Lakers -2 official.
Yeah, I think they win by double digits, Shark. When the Lakers finally bust out, they're gonna blow somebody out here, and it very well could be the Knicks. And you take a look at them when they're not getting their foul calls, when they stop playing defense. Like basically when their shots are not falling for the Knicks, they stop playing defense. They get down on themselves. Julius Randle basically quits on his team. So this is a Knicks team that either super fired up or they are liable to get blown out by 20 points. And I think it's the latter here as well. They do in theory have the rest advantage, but like I said, they just had to fly literally cross country all the way over here to LA. They've been playing well in the past years, not this year though. I think the Lakers with revenge is like you said, Shark, when they lost, I believe the Knicks were laying points in that game. Now you got the line flipped to the Lakers here, and it was no LeBron in that game as well, man. So it's basically the same type of lineup here. You got Stanley Johnson this time around. Give me the Lakers here, man. Minus the 2 here, Shark. I like it. It's top player of the day for me, man. I like the Lakers here.
Just one more point. Jay mentioned this is the first game the Knicks are playing on the Pacific Coast this season. They do play 10 out of their next 11 games on the road at the West. This is a big late season cluster at the West. If you look at the Western Conference games they have played this year, they're not representative of this at all. They were a favorite in every single one. Pelicans, Timberwolves, Rockets, Spurs, Thunder. Okay, so if you guys really look at the bottom half of the West, not on the Pacific Coast, Knicks played 5 games, all as a favorite. They were 3-2 ATS, outright loss at Oklahoma City. This is not the same environment. This is a complete environmental shift. It's an absolute banger of a play. Lakers -2. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, man. Lakers -2. When me and Shark liking the same thing, man. It's only one unit, but we liking it. We liking our chances to cash. You dig what I'm saying? Like the Lakers today. Let's go over to right down the street. You dig what I'm saying? We got the Thunder versus the Kings here, man. I hear I don't think the Kings are gonna trade anybody. Definitely not getting rid of Halliburton. If Fox goes, that's one thing. He's not out there playing, man. The Kings have low key start to show that they're starting to play. I think this is one of those kind of like without Harden over there, or the team knows that Fox is likely going to get traded. They're not getting rid of Halliburton, not getting rid of some of their young pieces. The Thunder, they have been playing well here, Shark, man. But I lean the Kings here, heavy lean to the Kings. I did end up doing something, a little money line parlay plus 137 with a little California 2-step with the Lakers and the Kings money line parlay. But I didn't really want to trust them later points. But I do think this is a spot, Shark, because I'm watching the Thunder game last night. They expended a lot of energy versus the Blazers. This isn't the Blazers team. This Kings has an offense, and they can run up and down the floor. You see what I'm saying? So I think this is going to be a high-paced game, and I think this is a Kings type of game as well. Last thing I have to say, they're 1-1 against each other this year. The first one, though, the Kings were up 20 points in OKC. They came all the way back to win. Then they come back to Sacramento. They smack them up. I think this is the third time around where the Kings like, all right, let's win this championship type of series here. So this is a winnable game for the Kings, guys, and I think they're going to smack them up here, Sharp.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you said, but I kind of have just a self-mandate when there's this type of turmoil and speculation with the team. It's just, I don't know, I just don't like getting involved. It's not so much backing them or not, it's just any involvement. The Thunder, of course, do come in here on a 3rd and 4 back-to-back off a dub 3. I do fear to a certain degree, we always talk about this, over 82, teams can catch a wind, and the wind can sustain for a period of games. I mean, the best example of this year was when the Rockets ran off a dub 7 after losing 16 or 18 prior. Of course, the Thunder and the Rockets are fairly similarly graded too. So I just don't know how to grade this game. Again, nothing's wrong, nothing's right. I just really don't know what to make of this game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Appreciate you, Michael Altman, in the chat, man, for the $20 dono. Appreciate the hell out of you, my brother. Let's keep it going. It made more of you people, man. Hey, drop some, man. Drop some. But no, it's all good. But in this one, yeah, like I say, line opened up at 6.5. And it's high, right, for the Kings. It's up to 7 with a lot of these tickets coming on the Thunder here. They're sexy type of dog. I think they could get smashed in this one. This is one, and you're right, Shark. It kind of gives me a little bit of hesitation. They've caught a win without SJ out there, but this is one where I think these guys are going to get smacked up here, man, especially coming off the back-to-back from Portland. The way that the Kings run and gun, they're a totally opposite team from the Blazers over there, man. I like the Kings in this one. Like I said, I did a little California two-step. Lakers, Kings, money line. Couldn't talk anybody off that one, plus 137. Let's go over here to the last game up, Shark. Going right back to the streets of Portland, you dig it? We got the Bucks here versus the Blazers. This line was opened up at like 8.5, 9 you could have got last night, up to 10.5. Obviously, once people realizing that the Blazers just traded away two of their guys. You like anything here, my guy?
Oh, this is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. You know, of course, we just said the Blazers are the only team that's really made a big trade. Of course, Clippers involved, but Blazers being probably the more primary team with involvement here. I just don't know what to make of this group. You know, of course, they did just lay down to Oklahoma City. Theoretically, it was a bounce back. That was a look ahead last night. You get a double revenge game here. Milwaukee did hammer them twice last year, 134 to something at home, 128 to 109 on the road. I believe that was with Lillard both games. So not the same motivation, theoretically. Of course, we talk about this all the time. When you remove the best player, the other team oftentimes does not bring their big energy. This is the first game of a 4-game trip for the Bucks. It's definitely a trap game. They traveled to Crypto.com for a one-off and a one-off against the Lakers and the Clippers the next two. And I believe they finish against the Suns on the road in a real banger of a matchup next week in prime time. It's a trap game for the Bucks, double revenge game for Portland. Portland off losses, L4. But again, Jay, we talk about this all the time. They were too hot when CJ got back. Now, L4, they could lose 6 in a row to get back to that neutral average. I have no idea what to make of this game. I think this is a toss line. You get that 10, backdoor could be open. Anything could happen here.
Yeah, I like that. Aurelio in the chat real quick. Let me know what that is, man. That Giannis double plus the Bucks to win. It's not. It's saying to money line, but it's still Bucks to win. You might get some nice odds on that, but it's Bucks or nothing for me here. It's simple. I'm not looking towards backing the Blazers, even as a double-digit home dog here. Bucks, if they want to, can come in here and smack them. I've seen games where the Bucks don't necessarily have the motivation to go in there to smack a team, though. That's what I worry about. So I'm staying off of it. It's Bucks or nothing. It's pretty simple for me, guys. I say, hey, the Super Bowl's coming up. It's all type of NFL props that you guys like to bet out there. If you want, go check over there to Wager Talk. If you're the type to buy plays, go check them out. You can use promo code J1 for any package of plays over there. NBA, college basketball, NFL, anything. If it wasn't a good deal, I wouldn't be telling it to you right now and having the promotion with my channel here, Shark. You like anything today, my brother?
College basketball?
No. You like anything in college basketball?
I got to go deeper into that. Sorry, I zoned out for a half second. You mentioned football.
No, I was saying NBA, but I was just saying anything.
Oh no, I mean I have nothing else going on this. I mean in terms of Super Bowl next week, we'll look at that, see what's going on. But very centered on these 3 spots here today, Jay.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the free picks time. Break them off with your officials.
Absolutely, 3 top plays, 5 o'clock here, so get it in. We're 56 minutes away from tip. Memphis Grizzlies on the road, -7.5. One thing I didn't mention before, as I always talk about line scaling, this appears short, right? Last year at home, they laid 12.5, and they blew them out by 17, 92-75. Then they came on the road and lost by 1 on an 11.5. So theoretically, that was the strong figure. We talk about this all the time. There's contamination sometimes. So when they don't cover the strong one, they can cover the weaker one. And if you do a little math there, when an 11.5 and you lose outright by 1, 11.5 minus 1, 10.5 divided by 2, we're looking at 5.5. That should be the mean average line here. So based on that one-off last year in Orlando, this line should be 5.5. So it's actually showing 2 points of extra strength as opposed to 3 points of weakness for those who follow my line functionality. I think Memphis comes in here and goes 8-0 in the back end of multi-game trips. Second play, Phoenix Suns on the road off a loss. Road game 2 at the East, 3-0 ATS, 3 blowouts against corollary teams, very similarly graded to the Wizards, Knicks, Hornets, and somebody else as we flow on this beautiful Sunday Saturday. And the final play, of course, buy hat engaged, prime time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Lakers, let's get off this ATS schneid. 0-3 last 3 against the Knicks. Knicks in turmoil. I think LeBron might come back. See some people in the chat. Beautiful Sunday Saturday. A beautiful show. Jay Monty, a pleasure. Close them out.
We didn't even know that as well. We're not moving lines. The info just came out there. We hopped on it -2. I'll be honest. I just took -4. So that's the highest I'm going to go with that. I don't care how high it goes. That's the point for me, guys. So I hopped on it with you as well for half unit for with -4. just to give you guys the most updated line, I like it -4, guys. The way I'm seeing this game should be a double-digit win by the Lakers. Oh, huh? What happened? Oh, sleepy spot for the Knicks here, guys, in the second half of this one. Liking the Lakers, my top player today. Like I said, I sprinkled some with the California two-step Lakers Kings money line parlay +137. That's gonna go down now, obviously with the line going up. But that's what I'm liking, man. My guy Shark with the damn good looks on the Suns and Grizzlies. I'll be riding those as well. And if I got some college basketball plays, man, I'll tweet them out, man. Go follow my guy Shark on Twitter at Sharks and Sports. You can follow me at J Money is Money, and also at NBA Talk with J1 as well, man. I appreciate you guys. Let's hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get some cash today. It's Send It Saturday, money making Saturday. Let's get some cash. We back tomorrow. We out.